What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Honda CRF125 with our big wheel kit. I have a brand new bike right from a dealership sitting right there. Now, this one was already converted. These are both actually for the same customer. So before I convert that bike, I want to do a quick walk around for you guys and answer a bunch of questions that you all have had on things like seat height, wheelbase, maybe the hydraulic brake upgrade in the rear, and let's jump into it. Now, guys, one big selling point of a big wheel kit is actually these meaty tires. Now, these things are a lot more resistant to punctures and pop tubes. And if you're doing any kind of like trail riding and some extreme rocks or anything that, you think you're going to pop a tube or break a spoke on, this is a bulletproof setup. Now, this is the stock rim and tire setup. There's nothing wrong with it, but we took it a step above with the ATV style tire. Now, there's a lot of stuff you can do with the ATV tire. You can put tire balls in there. You can run tire slime. So anytime you get an actual puncture in the tire, it actually won't hurt the bike. Now, we all know if you get one little nail in this tube, you're done riding for the day. You got to take the tire back off and can't plug it. So with an ATV tire that's tubeless, again, you can run tire balls. You can run a slime inside the tire. So when you get a hole, it actually comes out. And you can even carry a plug kit with you when you're riding. If you get a hole in that tire, you can just plug the tire in about 15 seconds. Pretty sweet setup. Now, this bike comes with hydraulic brakes in the front. So we obviously kept that on the front of ours. We did change the disc in the caliper. We also have a billet hub on there. So if you come around to this side, you guys can check out our billet hub that comes on this kit. Now this goes up to the wider triple clamps. So we've got the billet triple clamps. We added big bike style handlebar mounts on here. So we've got the anti-vibe handlebar mounts with the billet steering stem. Now this is the stock handlebar setup. So everything's pretty much the same there. Now our customer opted to actually add one of our headlights. Now we just came out with some new brackets for these headlights that work with our triple clamps. It's a little bit cleaner of a setup than having the two rubber straps. Because if you're gonna run this dirt bike front fender, to make this headlight work with that, these brackets were a quick fix for that. I've got a handlebar mounted light switch on here. Super easy to turn that on and off. Now guys, you're gonna notice the shrouds are kicked out a little bit. Now the reason for that is we added some offset brackets on here. That's so we can get clearance when we're at full lock. Now let's look at the rear end. So it's time to talk about the rear brakes on this bike. This bike has the old school drum brakes. You guys have seen these. Obviously, if you own one, you know how they are. Now they're not bad. I mean, obviously hydraulic's better. So I wasn't going to design a big wheel kit and not go with hydraulic brakes. So let's go to the other side of the other bike again. Now we came up with a new brake pedal. We've got a little bit meatier teeth on there. So we've got a CNC cut brake pedal that's TIG welded to a new pivot. We've got a CRF style master cylinder and a master cylinder bracket that actually hangs off of this mounting hardware right here. And this gets run right back to the hydraulic brake caliper. This is a very similar setup to our CRF110 swing arm. We've got the big bike style chain adjusters. It's another huge upgrade on the CRF110 and the CRF125. So both swing arms actually run that same setup. We've got a heavy duty axle on here. And again, with the hydraulic disc brake. Got some exhaust spacers on here. So we've got a shorter spacer in the front and a longer spacer in the rear. That kicks the exhaust can over, allows for some tire clearance. This bike actually, I feel like it's made for a big wheel kit. It's pretty wild how well this all works. So we've got our extended swing arm with the big bike style chain adjusters. So this is just like a CRF 450 style. We've actually got the stock CRF 125 sprocket on our billet hub with our sprocket adapter. This goes up to a jack shaft. So right here we've got the jack shaft on here. We've got jack shaft adjusters on the inside and the outside. Got a guard on here. So to clear this tire, we had to go with a jack shaft to offset the chain out to here to come around the fat tire and go all the way back to the back sprocket. So number one question we get, seat height and wheelbase. So we're gonna start with the wheelbase. So I'm gonna show you guys the stock CRF 125. So I'm basically just gonna go from axle to axle. And this is at the adjustment that came right from the dealership. So obviously the axle can move forward and back, but we're just gonna get a rough measurement for you guys. So center of the front axle roughly to the center of the rear looks like 48 inches. Looks like 48 inches. Now guys, on a big wheel kit, just keep in mind we did extend the swing arm. We also widened and offset the triple clamps. So we took them out a few inches wider. We put a little bit more offset in this just to get a little bit more clearance on our gas tank and to set it up correctly for the fat tire. So let's go ahead and measure that and see where this thing stacks up compared to the stock bike. So same kind of measurement. I'm just going to go from the front axle. So we're at about 51 inches. So we added 3 inches to the bike in terms of the wheelbase. And then let's check out the seat heights now. So the stock bike's about just a hair over 29 inches. Let's go measure the big wheel. I've got these propped up on rocks so they're sitting a little straighter. Move that way a little bit. Pretty damn close, 29 and a half. I guess another question we do get a lot of is the gearing. That seems to be a question on all the big wheels. The tire only went up about an inch in diameter. It's not actually affecting the bike terribly. So it's not gonna like completely bog the bike down or make it slow. We can easily change the front sprocket or we can change the rear sprocket and do some minor adjustments to make this bike exactly how you want it. But when these things leave the shop, they're kind of in the middle ground of close to stock gearing. And you as the customer, just let us know what you want to do for riding. If you're riding in deep sand, obviously we're going to gear the bike down and all that stuff. But again, it is just a little 125. So a pipe, air filter, all that fun stuff's obviously going to help it run better. But in terms of how is it when you're riding it with the gearing, we haven't had any gearing issues. We just simply make adjustments to the front sprocket or the rear sprocket. Hope you learned something in this video. Again, these are all questions we've been getting over the last few years on this kit. This actually happens to be one of our most popular big wheel kits. So head over to bvcbigwheels.com if you're interested in a big wheel kit for your CRF125 or any other dirt bike for that matter. We've got new models coming out every couple of months. Again, guys, as always, thank you for the support. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.